Hello, Brick Sculptors, and welcome back to Brick Sculpt. This is Chris, and we are back for another pencil update. Yes, we're going to work on my gigantic Lego pencil. I haven't forgotten about this project. I apologize, I haven't posted anything about this in a long time. I've had a lot of different projects going on, so I've kind of put this one aside. But we're here, we're going to do an update, and we're going to show you some progress on this massive Lego pencil. And when I say massive, I mean massive. This thing is going to be absolutely huge. So the parts I have laid out in front of you here are to build the sides of the pencil. Now this is my micro massive pencil, whatever you might want to call it. We're going to make one several times bigger. I'm going to show you how I build one of the sides here, and then we'll link them all together and show you how this thing is going to be constructed. Now the crazy thing about this is the side that I'm building here is going to be probably 1/3 or 1/4 of the length of an actual side. I have to order a lot of parts. This project's going to get kind of expensive, but it's going to be worth it. So keep in mind what you're seeing here, though this is pretty long. It's probably going to be 3 or 4 times longer than this when I'm done. And I'm not thinking this up in real time. I have actually already designed this, and I know exactly what I'm going to build here. So I'll save you the brain power of watching me go through a million different renditions. But one of the secrets to the success here is this kind of zigzag pattern. Because when these sides meet up, these are going to make the corners really quite flush. And none of this is going to be seen what I'm building right now, so the colors on this portion really don't matter that much. The gray in these will be seen a tiny bit. If I really want to get crazy, I can replace them with either tan to show wood or yellow to look like the sides of the pencil. I had a few people comment that they thought I should use a different yellow for the sides, and though it may be a little more realistic, I am going to stick to classic yellow. The main reason being is I have to buy 1 million of these 1x8s, and they're getting expensive. So a rare color would make it even worse. So we're not going to do that. One of the things, if you know me and my builds by now, I'm not big on studio creations. I like to build stuff in real life, in real time. And so I'm working with what I have and working with what I can afford. All right, so this zigzag pattern is going to be integral to the construction of this, and I'll show you that in a little bit here. These yellow 1x8s are going to cover right over the top of this. And I'm going to stagger these. Now, when I first put out this idea, tons of people told me, don't use tiles. Instead, I should use bricks with cheese slopes on the corners in a snot fashion. That is a great idea, but I'm not going to do it, and I'm going to tell you why. Number one, I think the tile looks nicer and smoother. Number two, it's going to be easier to write a logo on this. And number three, the edges of pencils aren't necessarily that sharp, so I kind of want them a little bit rounded. And you'll see when these come together how it looks, and I think it looks really good. So I am sticking to this design. I do appreciate the other design, and I understand how it would work, but I'm not using it. This is the design we're going to go forward with, at least for now. I changed my mind a lot. So you can see that zigzag portion at the bottom has been mostly all covered up, and now it's just a flat yellow side. But don't forget that that's going to be very important, and I'll show you in a minute here. Now I'm just putting clips on these seams, and I'm going to put one at the bottom. Now I'm keeping this side jagged, because this would link it right to another section, as well as some stuff underneath. Because like I said, this is long, but this is probably 1/3 or 1/4 of what the real one's going to actually, the full size one's actually going to look like. So we've got our clips going here. Oops, sorry, Rick. And then I'm just going to give these a little bit of added strength by adding some plates across the back here. If I want to make these real strong, I'd run a channel down the middle, and I probably will do that eventually, but we are still kind of in prototype phase here, so we're still working out the kinks. But that is one of 6 sides of our gigantic pencil. Now, to save you the pain of waiting for me to build 6 of these, ta-da, there's 5 more. And these are all identical. On a couple of these, I had to play with the tile pattern a little bit because I ran out of 1x8 yellow tiles already. Because as you can see, it's a lot. So let me go ahead and show you how these are going to link up and show you why that staggered pattern is so important. So you can see that it's going to match up just like this. We can pop these together. And that pattern allows these to overlap. So if you look here, you can see that it wouldn't fit together properly if these were solid on both sides, but because of that zigzag, I can make a really tight corner. And like I said, these corners are really nice. They don't need to be any sharper than that. It turned out really good. And you're going to see a tiny bit of color through there, so I could change all these to yellow if I want, but I'm probably not going to bother because it doesn't really matter, to be honest. There's 3 sides. And yeah, this thing's going to be pretty big. 4 sides. The final 2. And these link up pretty easily. They don't come apart super easy. Well, they do, but it falls apart. And that's just because I haven't given a lot of structural strength to these clips on the bottom, on the inside. So once I do, I know Rod is going to tell me right now, he comments on every one of my videos. Thanks, Rod. He's going to comment this is going to make an amazing kaleidoscope, and it would. But sorry, Rod, that's not what we're doing. I love this jagged edge, too, with all the browns and grays in here. It looks like somebody chewed on this pencil. But that is just for the transition. But this is the basis of our start. A little bit larger, huh? So I got that portion done. Like I said, I have to probably make 3 or 4 sections like this. So it's going to be a big build. I'm guessing 4-ish feet long. And I have to make an eraser as well. But that portion is done. Now after that, I decided to keep going and work on the top. Now, the top is probably the most difficult part of this whole build. And I had some great suggestions on the Discord server. And I don't know, maybe I'm just stubborn. I wanted to do it myself. Not that your guys' designs are bad at all. I think they're actually fantastic and probably better than mine. But I really wanted to take this challenge on from the start and see how good of a cone I could build. Keep in mind, I have never built a cone before. In fact, this kind of building to me is completely new. These larger structures, more sculpture-esque things is very different for me. I'm usually a small detail city builder type person, so I'm really branching out here, but having a ton of fun doing it. So, this is going to be my central core for the tip. Now, just for fun, and because I already put a pencil in it, this is going to be the graphite portion of my tip. And my cone will go to about here. Just like that. So let me show you how I came up with the cone design. And it's not perfect, but I'm really happy with how it came out. So we start with kind of a wedge-shaped piece. And I put a few cheese slopes in here, but not a lot. I've got a snot connection there. I've got a clip right there. And we're going to add some stuff onto this. So this is going to be 8-sided. So it's not truly a cone. But at the bottom, it's going to be 16-sided. And I'll show you how we're going to do that. So we take this portion here. I added a bracket on the bottom with 2 jumper plates, just like that. This little 1x1 just helps create the triangular portion and fill in a little bit of a gap once these all come together. Next, I have a smaller bracket with a double clip on it and a couple of 1x2s to space it out. And that's going to sit right here. And what that bracket is going to do is it's going to hold on our small filler side. And this is a 1x5 plate, a 1x6 tile, and one of these plate modified bars on there. And that's going to snap in. And it's going to give us that angle and fill a large gap here. And that's where it's going to take us from 8 sides to 16. The last thing I need is a connection point to get this to connect to here. And that's where this comes in. This is a 2x2 jumper, 1x1 plate, and the bottle topper piece. And I really love how this connection turned out. So this is a final side. Now obviously the colors are a little off. I did a lot of experimenting here. I still need to order these in tan. I ran out of parts, but I'm really happy with how this turned out. Let me kind of show you. It's a bit of a process to build. You have to clip the tops on. I like to clip the tops on first. You don't have to, but it makes it go a little smoother, I think. And then the bottoms. And it will sit in just like that. And yeah, to save you some time here, I already pre-made them all. Put a second one on there. Just like that. And you can see, yes, it's going to have some gaps. But once I'm finished, you'll see it's a pretty good looking cone. And also keep in mind, this is the wood portion of the pencil that I think is kind of cool if it looks a little bit chewed up, because this is what's going to go in a pencil sharpener and get ground down. So there we've got 4 sides on. Five sides. And now you can see it's coming together here. It'll definitely look better when it's all tan. But you can see the profile as I rotate it. It's pretty round. I'm really, really happy how this came out. And like I said, I've never built a cone before. And I really want to tackle this all on my own. So I think it came out pretty good for a first try. And the final piece can be a little snug, just depending on how much space I left. They do all fit, and they do all fit legally, I should add. But you do have to kind of put them in strategically. There's our top and our sides. And there's our cone. What do you think? The final piece, we got to put our graphite on there. And that should meet up pretty nice. I need to figure out a way to center this, which should be pretty easy. I've done it before, just to get that Technic piece in the middle. Might try to build out and have a few connections, because it's not going to be the strongest connection there. The bottom side of this looks really cool. I thought about, when you sharpen a real pencil, they get this scalloped look at the top. And I thought about trying to do that by putting some tan on here. I think it'd be even better if I could expose this underside, but unfortunately with the pattern I have here, you'll see holes. So I might try to put some tan plates on here to make a kind of scalloped look where the corners meet on the hexagon. We'll see if that actually happens or not. Here's a nice clean look if we didn't do that. What do you think? A little bit bigger? This thing's going to be absolutely huge. I'll have to try to find like a school or something to display this in when I'm done, because I don't know what I'm going to do with it. It's absolutely massive. Let me zoom out here and give you a full shot. So there we have it, guys. There's a start to an absolutely massive Lego pencil. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you have any suggestions, anything I could do better, let me know below. If you like this kind of build, please like and subscribe. I'll do more just like this in the future. And we will see you next time.